Good morning. It's very cold in the camper this morning, and I have forced Emmy into my sleeping bag with me to warm up. She's not a huge fan of it. She doesn't really love being under blankets. She has her own sleeping bag that she's made her peace with. But anyway, we're snuggling under mine. My sleeping bag is a little bit warmer, and she has a hard time staying underneath hers. So I'm warming her up before we get up and eat breakfast and make a coffee. So one thing people ask about in the hiatus a lot is condensation. And as you can see, when it's really cold, I'll often shut all the windows just to keep as much heat in as possible. And there is some condensation on the windows, but usually I just open them, like especially being in the desert. After the sun comes up, they'll dry right out. And I also have my max air fan I can turn on to help with the ventilation process. But the insulated walls are completely dry. I do sometimes get a little bit of condensation up here on this top aluminum piece. And as you saw on the thermometer, hygrometer, the humidity is really high in here right now, but it'll totally dry out within a couple hours being down here in the desert. I do think it's interesting. There's a lot less condensation on the windows that had the insulated window covers. It's still there, obviously, but the way condensation works is it's warm air touching a cold surface. So with this creates like a barrier. So definitely should maybe get on top of making window covers for these guys as well. Oh yeah, there is frost all over the truck this morning. We busted out Emmy's roof wear coat, which she's not the biggest fan of, but it will help her stay warm. We're camped down in this canyon in one of the Sky Islands in Arizona, and it's super beautiful, but it takes the sun a long time to actually get down here, and then it goes away relatively quickly, so it's not ideal for solar charging or getting warm. It's extra important on a morning like this to preheat your coffee mug. Well, my photo friend in Tucson gave me a tripod, so filming these is a little bit easier. And I've got my little clippy mic now, so hopefully the audio sounds better. I really want to continue to invest in tools to make this channel better and better for y'all, but I'm trying to not go crazy before I see if I'm going to be able to earn anything from YouTube. It's not necessarily the primary motivation for doing this. I really enjoy just documenting my travels. And sorry, Amy's all tangled. Anyway, yeah, making money here isn't my primary objective, but it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. And I feel like to warrant like buying a fancy new camera or other kinds of gear that I might want to improve the quality, it would be helpful if it was at least sort of like paying for itself, if that makes sense. So my goal is to try to have enough subscribers and watch hours by the end of this year to like cross the threshold for that to be a possibility. I'm like almost halfway there and we have a month left, so I don't know if it will happen, but if you have enjoyed watching what you've seen here and you want to share it with a friend that might also enjoy it, that would mean a lot to me and would also help me be able to continue documenting my travels in this way. But yeah, it's amazing to me that even I think I have almost 200 subscribers right now, that even that many people want to listen to me yammer about camping. I have been having kind of a hard time filming lately. I don't know if you've noticed. I have been posting videos, but I haven't actually filmed a lot of the things I've been doing in the last month or so. A big part of that, honestly, is I've been struggling with my mental health a little bit. It's nothing new for me, and I plan to record a video talking specifically about that, so I won't get into it too much in this video, but I just got finished watching one of Jonathan Yench's latest videos and kind of got re-inspired to start documenting again. I really like his format where he'll kind of like go on a short adventure, go on a hike or do something fun outside, make a really tasty meal, and kind of just show you like a shorter snippet of time in a little more detail. So I'm thinking that I might pivot to that format of these videos. When I first started, I was really heavily leaning into the like, what is it like to feel like living on the road for the first time? And I've been doing this for almost 5 months now. And I feel like I've kind of got the hang of like the basics. So documenting that is sort of less interesting to me and probably to you as well. And I really love food and cooking, so I would like to incorporate some more of that into my videos. But yeah, we're in southern Arizona now, and generally speaking, it's been a lot warmer here than where we were up in Utah, but it is still quite cold at night, even though it warms up during the day. And the area that I'm in right now is really, really beautiful, but it is slightly higher elevation, so I think I'm going to try to find somewhere a little bit warmer for the next couple days, especially because it's going to rain, I think. I drove through the eastern side of Saguaro National Park on the way here. That was really beautiful. And I am planning to loop back around to the west side of the park. So I'll try to film that for y'all as well. I love the saguaro cactuses. I think you can say it either way. They're just so incredible and majestic, and I think endangered because of climate change. Yeah, just hanging out in the desert and trying to get into a better headspace. So the sun came out and it warmed up, and I got breakfast in Portal, Arizona, and then came down to the Chiricahua, I don't know how to say it, Chiricahua Desert Museum, and that was really cool. It was recommended to me by my camp host. They had a whole bunch of live rattlesnakes there. I guess the guy that runs it or whatever is a respected herpetologist, and I felt a little bit weird about all of them being in glass cases, but I asked the person at the front desk about it, and she said that most of the specimens were like rescues or collected from ranchers that would have otherwise killed them. And the herpetologist does a lot of work to educate the community and rehabilitate snakes that are found locally and that need help or whatever. So that made me feel a little bit better about it. And there's also an Apache museum next door where I learned a little bit about the indigenous people of this region, and they let Emmy come inside, both of those, which was cool. It was a little scary to have her in there in the snake room, but I mean, they're all in cases. But I stopped next door-ish for a beer. Happy Camper IPA. And just plotting my next move. I talked to the person at the visitor center this morning, and she showed me that there's a route that goes through the mountains rather than out and around, which is like the highway, easy way. And I guess there's some dispersed camping back there as well. So I'm gonna check that out and try to get there before the sun goes down. Well, this is interesting. I can almost fit through here, but I don't want to scratch up my truck, so I think I'm gonna try to move or remove some of this. Okay, I think this is camp for the night. Just up here on the Forest Service Road. Beautiful view. Nice and quiet. Let's get set up. Got the camper all set up, and now I'm going to take this one on a little walk before it gets completely dark out. Don't have to worry about making dinner tonight because I have leftover stir fry from last night. So that's great. Less mess and less time and less cleanup. Always nice when you're camping. I feel like today is a perfect example of why not to just trust Google directions, especially if you have a capable vehicle, because my friend had put a couple pins for me on a map of places worth checking out. And when I just like Googled how to get from point A to point B, it had this really circuitous, is that the right word for it? Just like going out and around on the highway and back down. And then I was looking on the map and it looked like there were actually roads back here, just probably not roads that every vehicle should drive on. So I asked sorry, we're going uphill, kind of out of breath, but I asked at the visitor center this morning, like, hey, can you get through this way? Is the road passable and in good condition and stuff? And the gal, asked me what kind of vehicle I had and told me about some areas to look out for. But now we have this beautiful backcountry route with dispersed camping rather than just driving on the highway. So it's always good to look at your map and double check. Okay, I'm tucked in for the night. I'm eating cold leftover stir fry for dinner, which I wish it was warm, but I also didn't feel like breaking out the stove and making dishes and then having to wash them because it was already getting dark. And I'm rewatching a few episodes of Stranger Things to get ready for watching the new season 5. I found an article that, I watched like a recap of like a 5-minute recap on YouTube of seasons 1 through 4, but then I also found an article that recommended 4 episodes to watch to like refresh your memory before watching season 5. We'll see how I feel about watching scary stuff while I'm by myself in the middle of nowhere. TBD how I feel about that, but it's such a good show and I don't want to get too far behind on watching the new season, so that's the plan for tonight. Well, we made it through a very windy night. I really thought the camper was gonna like blow over at one point, and I kept reassuring myself like it's heavy, it's way heavier on the bottom than it is on the top. But I didn't sleep very well because it was loud, and I was hoping it would die down in the morning, but it's still pretty windy out there. Can you hear it? Made coffee inside this morning to avoid getting blown away, and just trying to figure out how I want to handle the day. I think I'm gonna drive down into the Chiricahua National Monument, which is not far from here, and I need to find somewhere to get some work done. Probably need to buy ice for the fridge just in case I can't charge up. And it's starting to get to she's demanding my attention. It's starting to get to that point where it would be nice to find a shower and do some laundry. So we'll see. I may camp out another night or might go find a town somewhere to get some of that done. Well, I made it to the Chiricahua National Monument. It is very cool, but it is also very cold and windy and intermittently sunny, so not good opportunity for charging the solar. I had thought I would hang out up here on this high point and maybe try to charge up the battery and make some lunch because I am quite hungry, but I don't think it is gonna work out. So I'm trying to figure out my next move. There is a town like maybe 30 miles from here. It's kind of a long drive. That has some services, and it looks like there are maybe some places I could pay to plug in for the night if I wanted to stay at more of like an RV park situation, which I don't really want. But I think the move is maybe to go buy some ice for the fridge and find somewhere to disperse camp. There is space in the campground at the National Monument, but it's like, I think it's $25, and the sites are very close to each other. So not really my preferred place to be. Okay, I had a girl dinner for lunch because I was too hungry to wait an hour to get into town. So I had peanut butter and honey tortilla and an apple and some corn chips, and now I feel less like I'm gonna die and more interested in exploring this beautiful monument. It's wild. From this viewpoint you can see where we were camped a week ago in the Dragoon Mountains. I learned recently that this is called an alligator juniper because of the bark that looks like alligators. Well, I found somewhere to sleep for the night. I ended up deciding to come to a state park because they have power hookups and showers, and that just felt like it simplified my needs, even though the cost is a little bit higher than I would like to pay. It's $50 a night here. But sometimes peace of mind is worth a couple extra dollars, and tomorrow I'll be able to venture out with a fully charged battery and a clean body and I'll probably find somewhere to do laundry because I'm on my last leg of clean clothing. It's really beautiful here. The main attraction to this state park is that it has caverns, but unfortunately I can't go on a cavern tour because I have Emmy with me. If I really, really wanted to go see it, I could potentially like book another night here and leave Emmy in the camper and like walk over to where the shuttle takes off, but I don't know that it's worth another $50 and then leaving her alone in the camper for several hours. So probably gonna skip that, but it does look amazing if you're ever in the area. Worth checking out if you can. Morning update. I am glad that I stayed here last night. It rained quite a bit, so it was nice to be in a paved spot and not out somewhere where it's going to get muddy or anything like that. When I woke up this morning, I was feeling extremely tired and a little bit stressed about like where to go and what to do. I really need to get some work done. And it's hard. It can be hard to do that when you're not like posted up somewhere for a couple days. So I was considering paying for another night at this campground so that I could just stay put and get some work done. But I decided to put off that decision until after I had taken a shower, and I went just now and took a nice long hot shower at the campground, and I feel so much better. And I feel like I feel better enough that I have a little more gas in my tank to be able to move to another spot and find a dispersed spot for the next few days. Another thing that kind of threw me off is my pee jug broke yesterday. It fell out of the truck when I was packing up, and I didn't notice that it had cracked, and then I went to use it last night, and let's just say it was a mess. And uh, I just, yeah, sometimes it'd be like that, you know? And so today I was just like, ugh, I can't deal. But I ordered a new one that I'll pick up in Tucson next week, and I have like almost 2 more hours left until I have to check out of this campground. So I'm going to make some food and pack up and get ready to hit the road. I think from here, I'm a little less than an hour from Patagonia, Arizona, and I've always wanted to go there. I worked for the company Patagonia for over 11 years, and I've been to Patagonia in South America, and I've heard it's nice, and I'm so close, I might as well check it out. So that is the plan for today. Okay, I think this is camp for the night. We got lunch in Sonoia, I think is how you say that. And really good wine, really good pizza. Also got a loaf of sourdough bread that I'm very excited about eating tomorrow. And the only decent camp that I could find that wasn't occupied was in the shade even at like 3:30 today. So it's a little chilly, so I am going to try to make a campfire, which I don't think I have done yet at all on this trip. Maybe one time at the very beginning. But it looks like there is some wood that I can gather, and I'm hoping that will help me stay cozy. So that is the plan. That's why I have my work gloves out, and we'll see how it goes. Well, it's not exactly an award-winning campfire, but it doesn't need to be very big for just me. And sitting next to it is definitely nicer than just being cold in the shade. So, guess we'll hang out here until the fire burns down, and that'll be our night tonight. Right, Emmy?